English.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Okay, so we have a final ending to our business dialogue. Remember, there has been family arguments over selling the family business. Mm-hmm. Well, it seems that most of them finally agreed.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have come to some sort of agreement.
At least with most of them. Not all of them.
Most of them. Mm-hmm. Right. So how many is most of them, you think?
So if there were 10, I would say at least 7.
I agree. I feel like it's got to be more than 50%.
Yeah,
because it's most.
Right. And I even though I guess technically 6 out of 10 is still most, I would still think that it would be more than that.
More than that. Yeah. I feel like 7 or 8 would be. And even possibly 9.
Yeah, but then you get to like almost all.
Right.
If you say 9, it's probably almost all.
Almost all. Yeah. Okay, so it's most of them is 70, 80%. What was it? Almost all would be 90.
Yeah.
92%.
And 6 would be a majority.
A majority.
A majority of.
Wow, this is good. Yeah. This is very good. Very difficult to know, though, right? Okay, so here are some expressions that we're going to cover. Take it. Take it? What do you mean, take it, in this context?
So, take it here means to accept something. Or it could just be to endure. Just like,
I couldn't take it anymore. Break something down.
You're explaining something piece by piece. So you're not explaining the whole thing all together. You're doing one small part at a time.
Okay. And go along with someone or something.
This is about cooperation. So they ask you to do something, and you do the thing they ask you to do.
Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and listen to our dialogue.
How did the family take it when you told them about the offer?
I was pleasantly surprised. Most of them finally agreed after I broke it down for them.
What did you say to finally convince them to go along with it?
I told them that if they ever missed the old place, they could go to the coffee shop and sit by the window.
That's nice. They can reminisce over a cup of coffee.
Plus, I told each of them how much money they were getting.
Okay, let's take a look at the dialogue. It's on page 152. Selling the family business, most of them finally agreed. Sarah begins. How did the family take it when you told them about the offer? So when you say, or when you ask, how did they take it? How does she take it?
Yes.
So what does this mean?
So how did they take it means how did they react?
How did they react?
Yeah, did they take it well? Did they take it badly? Yeah.
And you know, by asking this question, you already know, like, what's the response?
Right.
I want to know. Was it good?
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject that you know was brought up.
Yes.
And so you're saying,
ooh, how did they take it?
Were they okay with it?
Yes, yeah. Maybe when you break up with somebody and you're the one who's breaking up, dumping someone, and then your friends say, oh, how did he take it? Yeah.
Or when someone gets fired. Oh, you had to fire Larry. How did he take it?
How did he take it? Yeah, right. So it's the anticipation of knowing the response. Like, because you know that response is probably not going to be a good one. Okay. But here's a question, quickly.
Yes.
When someone, don't native speakers like, oh, how do you take your coffee? How do you take it?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So coffee and tea are drinks that people have a very specific way that they like it. So sugar,
cream, milk,
lemon, if it's tea, right?
Yeah.
So how do you take your tea? How do you take your coffee? You're asking, how do you want me to make it?
Very good.
Do you want it black? You want sugar?
Very good. What does Grady say?
I was pleasantly surprised. Most of them finally agreed after I broke it down for them.
This is a great expression. Pleasantly surprised. It goes together, okay? And it means that you're surprised, but it was a good surprise.
Yes.
I was pleasantly surprised. And most of them finally agreed after I broke it down for them. So if you break something down,
Yes.
are you breaking a chair?
You are not, but it is the feeling of you are separating things into pieces. So to break it down means you are explaining it by going through the details one at a time.
Yes.
So apparently, if you just say, I think we should sell the business, of course, many people in the family are going to think, why do we need to sell the business? The business is good. But if Grady then goes through and gives all of his reasons and talks and shows all of the numbers, this is how much we make.
Right.
This is how much we can sell for all of that stuff. Kind of explaining it every little bit at a time.
Right.
That would be breaking it down for them.
Yeah. So oftentimes people who work in accounting have a lot of graphs, have a lot of figures, reports. So when you break it down, it's like you are explaining in detail each of these expenses or,
like
figures.
a cost breakdown, for example. It'd be like, well, we had to ship it, so it was this amount. And then we got insurance, and it was this amount. Like you're giving every little piece to tell the final total.
That's right. Okay, what Sarah says, what did you say to finally convince them to go along with it? Okay, so to go along with something?
To go along with means to cooperate or accept something.
Yes.
So in this case, Grady had an opinion or a plan to do something. If you go along with it, you're saying, okay, sure, let's do that.
Let's do it. Yeah, to go along. Yeah, everybody went along, meaning like it kind of moved together, basically. Okay. What does Grady say?
I told them that if they ever missed the old place, they could go to the coffee shop and sit by the window.
Okay, that's so... Yeah, right. If they missed it, they can go and sit by the window. And Sarah says, that's nice. They can reminisce over a cup of coffee. Now, even for native speakers, the spelling is hard.
I could not spell it.
I can't.
I'm looking at it in our book right now.
I always misspell it.
Yes.
It's REMINISCE. 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 So what do you do when you reminisce?
You are thinking about the past in a positive way.
Yeah.
To reminisce, it's very similar to the word nostalgia.
Yeah.
So feeling nostalgic, right? So you are thinking about, oh, those were the days.
Oh, I remember.
We were so happy then.
When I was 22.
Yes.
And, doing this. You're looking at it fondly.
Yeah. Oh, look at the door. That's where I hit my head.
Right.
I still have the scar on my forehead.
Yeah.
I miss being a child running through my old family's business.
Well, I had the situation when I took my son, who was at the time maybe 11 or 10 years old, and I took him to UCLA.
Oh, really?
The university that I graduated. And when I was walking through the campus, I was completely reminiscing about my college days.
That's where I kissed my boyfriend. That's where I broke up with my boyfriend. That's where I found my new boyfriend.
How did you know? It's good times. Okay. What does Grady say?
Plus, I told each of them how much money they were getting.
Okay, plus is just one word. It's a power pattern because we use it as a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this plus is like from math.
Yeah.
Huggy, right?
Right.
But we use it to mean in addition to, also in a conversational way.
Right.
Often.
Very kind of informal speech. Right, right. Plus, and it's like, when you add that plus, it's almost like, and then more, like...
Yeah. Like you're getting a bonus.
Yes, that's the kind of feeling that you get with the word plus.
Yes.
It's like a good addition. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and listen to our dialogue one more time.
How did the family take it when you told them about the offer?
I was pleasantly surprised. Most of them finally agreed after I broke it down for them.
What did you say to finally convince them to go along with it?
I told them that If they ever missed the old place, they could go to the coffee shop and sit by the window.
That's nice. They can reminisce over a cup of coffee.
Plus, I told each of them how much money they were getting.
It's time for Power Note. We're on pages 154 and 55. So this expression, take it, means to accept or react or even tolerate something.
Yes.
Okay. How did Mike handle the diagnosis?
He took it pretty well for such bad news.
Okay. Maybe, the doctor said you have cancer or you have, some sort of disease. So how did he handle the diagnosis? How did he take it? Right? And he took it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he wasn't overly
dramatic. Well, depending on what it is. So, it seems like this was pretty bad news. And maybe Mike could have been angry or sad.
Yeah.
But he didn't seem to overreact. So he's taking it well. He may have still been sad or angry, but not to a very large degree.
Right. So they're taking it pretty well. They're okay.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure, so you can't take it. If you can't take it, you should quit. Right. If you can't take it, then quit.
Yeah. Don't even try. It's like, for example,
just money and the pressure, and it's a very intense job, right?
Yeah.
They can't take it, so they quit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or like, I know in the military, for example, special forces.
Oh.
They put them through such hard. There's like that basic training that everyone goes through, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to be like a Navy SEAL,
like 특공대.
Yeah. Like those types of things. Not everybody can take it.
No.
It's hard. I couldn't.
Yeah, it's triple the training.
Right?
Yeah.
It's lots of nights where you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
You're outside in the rain and it's not for everybody.
Right.
Because not everybody can take it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why you have people like in movies sometimes, I can't take it anymore.
Right.
I quit or I'm out of here. Right?
Yeah, so this is the acceptance or tolerance that you're talking about.
That's right.
But the related meaning related kind of in a way of how do you take your coffee, right? How do you accept? So there is that feeling of accepting, but here we're talking about food and drink.
Right. How do you take it? All right. Break something down means to explain something in detail or in steps. So step 1, step 2, you're kind of, explaining exactly what these numbers mean.
Yes.
Or whatever it is that you're breaking down. I need you to break this chart down for me.
Okay, the red line is projected profits, while the blue line is...
Yeah.
We stopped the explanation.
Okay.
But yes, this breakdown of a chart, oftentimes you'll see a chart and you have no idea
what is this?
What it is trying to say.
So it's just another way of saying, could you tell me in detail exactly what this means and what that means?
Yes.
The HR director broke down the new health insurance plan for employees.
Insurance plans are complicated.
It's complicated, right?
Yeah.
So that's why he has to break it down. He has to give the employees specific information about what this plan is all about.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can also see this in the English classroom. You can break down a sentence. So maybe there's like a really long, complicated sentence, and you have no idea what it's saying.
Right.
So you divide it in half or divide it even shorter and say, okay, I know what these 3 words mean, and then I know what these 3 words mean. So if we put them together, it makes this meaning. You're taking something big and complicated, you're separating it into smaller pieces so that you can then understand the meaning of everything.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's what I usually do when I do any sort of translation work. I don't just take the whole thing and just translate one sentence right there. You kind of have to break it into parts and then put it all together.
Yeah. You know how in music sometimes they say, break it down now.
Yeah, like break it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
That means when they're separating the music apart. So a breakdown is usually when the song gets slower or some of the instruments go away so that then you can highlight kind of the very important parts, like the beat of the music
Oh.
or something. You're slowing it, you're breaking it down so that it's a simpler song that then later they can bring all of the complicated parts back in.
Oh, wow. Very good.
Yeah.
So in the end, basically, if you break something down, in the end, you have a better idea, a full comprehension
Yes.
of what you're seeing or hearing.
Yes.
Okay. To go along with someone or something means to agree with them, to cooperate with them. Let's see how it's used. I'm going to play a prank, P-R-A-N-K, on Kevin.
Okay, I'll just go along with whatever you do.
Okay. If you play a prank on someone, you're basically...
It's a joke.
It's a joke, but...
It's kind of like the pie in the
physical.
face.
Yeah.
Or the marker board eraser falling on their head.
Yeah.
Those types of,
Yeah.
that's kind of the traditional prank, right?
Right. And if you go along with the prank, it means that you are following along.
You're maybe participating.
Participating,
Yep.
okay? You don't have to go along with everything Chuck does.
Maybe
Yeah.
Chuck is a bad influence.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a bad kid.
Yeah, you don't need to do everything that he does.
Yeah.
Right. But in a positive context, if you go along, you're being part of the team.
Yes.
Maybe you're, participating in the teamwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel like you're not very active. You're participating,
Oh, yes.
but you're not the leader.
No. That's a good point.
You're just saying, okay, I'll do what you tell me.
Yeah,
I'll go along.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Good point. Okay. Plus is our power pattern, which is basically like, here's a bonus. I'm telling you something more. Okay. Plus, I got a free room upgrade to a suite.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, we'll meet the band backstage after the concert.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You see, so as you can see from these two examples, something's like even better.
Yeah, it's an extra bonus.
Extra
A
bonus.
cherry on top of the
Oof.
ice cream sundae.
Oh, ice cream, yum. Okay, all right. Our power vocab today is the word reminisce.
Yes.
Okay? You don't have to know the spelling, but it would be good to know the definition.
Those were the days, my friend.
Yes,
We
those
thought
were
they'd
the days.
never
That's
end.
right. When you reminisce, you think about the past, and usually you think about the past in a very fond way,
Yes.
in a very oh, those were good days. Okay. Do check out the definition on page 156, and make sure you stop by.
Audio 어학당.
Very good. Pay a very small fee, and you can have access to so many wonderful programs. Okay. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.